stronger, 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 to a point where the next one's going to be, you know what, the N-word. You know what the N-word is, right?
Nuclear.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for the clarification.
I figured you'd want to clean that up.
This is
N-word. That's a very nasty word, right? In a lot of ways. The N-word used in a nuclear sense, that's the worst thing that can happen. Stronger, stronger, stronger. To a point where the next...
Nah, that's funny, bro.
You think somebody really...
He said, yeah, I thought you'd want to clean that up.
So much people would have got so mad and try to spin this. They probably already is right now.
Yeah, they probably are, for real.
So you know what the N-word are. You see, he looks scared.
Huh?
The
He
N-word.
started stadium post on 10.
Washington is not because they're not left enough. It's because, Chucks are mad. Why the base is mad at some of the leaders in Washington is not because they're not left enough. It's because, Chuck Schumer came out with no strategy, no forewarning, and just said, we're going to fold on the CR. I mean, I think he could have done a better job of explaining what the strategy was and what we're going to do, but there wasn't anything like that. I think Democrats are learning, and I'm going to agree with you, that Democrats cannot only be the party of resistance. We cannot, we resisted so hard between 2017 and 2024. We impeached the guy. We prosecuted him, convicted him of 34 felony counts, and guess what? He still got elected. So I don't know how much harder we can resist now.
Are you admitting that that the case against Trump in New York was part of the organized Democratic Party resistance?
It was a Democratic prosecutor. And at the time, I thought it was unwise. I went on Fox News and said
there were Democrats who said this at the time.
There were a lot.
Just to be clear, everybody who now touts the 34 felonies, take it from Liz. This was not a real case. This was a plot to upend the presidential campaign, which backfired.
I just think it was a boneheaded move by Alvin Bragg, but it's not his first or last one. So.
This is why we invite Liz, because she's a plain-spoken New York Paul who can really tell it straightforward.
Change up for CNN, man.
On me.
CNN acting different, different.
They're going more center.
35% of Democrats with the favorable view of the party's future. That's delusion.
Well, that means a lot of them don't have a favorable view of their own party.
65%.
So most of y'all don't even think y'all gonna work, and y'all want us to come with y'all when y'all don't even trust that y'all can do it.
So I don't know if y'all guys seen the video, but Robert Hur, this guy, released some audio footage of Joe Biden and him talking, and Joe Biden was fully senile. Have y'all seen that?
I saw it, but I didn't hear it.
All right, let's play that before we watch this. Let's give some context to the viewers, because that was crazy.
For real?
Oh, yeah, he didn't know shit. So what this proves is they've lied to us about Joe Biden this whole time. But we knew that. But we knew that.
That's why the debate day was my favorite day last year.
It was so funny, bro. I couldn't stop laughing.
That was like my birthday.
Yeah. So I want y'all to really listen to this and realize that our former president was not really the president.
So during this time, we were living in Chambers Road, and there were documents related to the Penn Biden Center or the Biden or the cancer shot or your book. Where did you keep papers that related to those things that you were actively working on?
Well, I don't know. This is what, 2017, 18, that area?
Yes, sir.
Remember, in this time frame, my son is either been deployed or is dying. And so it was...
He can't even think.
And by the way, there were still a lot of people at the time when I got out of the Senate that were encouraging me to run in this period, except the president. It's not a mean thing to say. I mean, he just thought that she had a better shot of winning the presidency than I did. And so I hadn't at this point, even though I'm at Penn, I hadn't walked away from the idea that I might run for office again. So if I ran again, I'd be running for president. And so what was happening though, what month did Bo die?
He didn't even know when his son died.
2018. Was it 2015 he died? 2015. I think it's 2015.
I'm not sure the months are, but I think that was
Yeah.
That's right, Mr. President.
And what's happened in the meantime
But he asked him, "Where's the
is that
papers?"
You sound like he got Alzheimer's.
This is his explanation for where are the
Alzheimer's.
papers.
Can't remember dates.
Trump gets elected in November of 2017? 2016. All right. So.
Yeah, bro. This was running our country is kind of sad.
See, he didn't even know when.
Okay.
It is where it gets bad.
But that's when Trump gets sworn in.
Right.
January.
Right. Correct.
Okay. Yeah. And in 2017,
This is
Bull
crazy.
had passed, and
He did not pass in 2017. He just said he passed in 2015.
He don't even know.
Yeah, pause this, man. This is.
Hold on. This is bad, bruh. Dang, he can't. This is the leader of the strongest country in the world. We knew he was not gonna win. Sometimes I really think that, like, you know, Democrats are just like their leaders and all that are just like very emotional, and you know that's why they are the way they are. But they might actually be not smart if y'all really thought that he would beat Trump in an election, and y'all put all your horses behind him without even doing a primary. Y'all all followed that plan. To me, that
Everybody's
is dumb.
stupid.
If I was there, and I'm just a YouTuber. If I was there, I would have been like, this dude, I don't think that he can win. We're seeing it. And y'all still had enough faith. Y'all had enough faith to not even hold a primary and hand it to him. That decision, the election was over before it started.
Yeah.
That decision alone to rerun Joe Biden was over. Y'all lost that day.
That is facts. Because
That's
like,
completely facts.
I remember we was sitting in here waiting for the Democratic debate.
Because we
was literally like excited for it.
We knew what was gonna happen, bro. I remember actually I was genuinely excited to watch it.
We never got it. But hey, this just proves that they were lying to us about Joe Biden's mental health. He couldn't remember when he left office, when his own son died, what they
That
was
was
even
just
talking
rough.
about, why they was talking about it.
And that all started with, so what did you do with those papers?
I don't know. Oh, imagine if Trump said that. So this is the guy who was talking to him.
What is in the rules, Mr. Herr, what is in the rules is you don't gratuitously do things to prejudice the subject of an investigation when you're declining to prosecute. You don't gratuitously add language that you know will be useful in a political campaign. You were not born yesterday. You understood exactly what you were doing. It was a choice. You certainly didn't have to include that language. You could have said vis-a-vis the documents that were found at the university, the president did not recall. There is nothing more common. You know this, I know this. There is nothing more common with a witness of any age when asked about events that are years old to say, I do not recall. Indeed, they're instructed by their attorney to do that if they have any question about it. You understood that. You made a choice. That was a political choice. It was the wrong choice. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. Gentleman from Arizona, did special counsel wish to respond to that final question?
Yes, Congressman, what you are suggesting is that I shape, sanitize, omit portions of my reasoning and explanation to the Attorney General for political reasons.
No, I suggest that you not shape your report for political reasons, which is what you did.
That did not happen, Congressman. That did not happen.
Wow.
Yeah. Tim Pool was talking about it too. He was talking about how much they lied and the media is just not even saying anything about it.
It's interesting that Adam Schiff would be mad at the special counsel for accurately reporting that the president is mentally not there. Oh, you're mad at that?
It was so easy to see.
You're
It was in
mad
front of
at that?
everyone's face.
Oh, it was extremely blatant.
American people are not dumb. You're not going to trick America.
So now is it clear why they withheld this audio?
Yes, I think it was clear to us the whole time. I think it's fascinating that the narrative they're trying to run now is we missed the story. We just were completely unaware this thing had been happening. You know what I'm thinking the whole time we're playing these clips? There are a lot of liberal news institutions, powerful newspapers that like to refer to someone like me as conservative simply for noticing that the sitting president was infirm. He was incapable of doing his job. When they released the transcript, immediately anybody who's rational says, let's hear the tape. I mean, you're saying we're not going to prosecute this guy while claiming Donald Trump did the same thing but should be prosecuted. We want to hear what happened and why, and they withhold it. Now they have the nerve to come out and claim, is it the White House Correspondents' Dinner or whatever? Oh, whoopsie. We just missed this one the whole time. I don't understand how regular people sitting at home saw this happen, and these journalists claim they had no idea what was going on.
So now is it clear why they withheld this audio?
Everyone knew what was going on. They shows their clear bias that they will not tell you the truth if it does not serve them, and y'all still continue to trust them.
I think he had an excellent review of what went down. Like the way they said Trump did the same things and he has to be prosecuted, but Joe Biden did and he doesn't have to.
That's
Double
crazy.
standard. It's all BS. It's all crazy.
Auto pen, wandering around, can't talk.
No, this
drugs in the White House.
Drugs in the White House with
this
the
part right here.
Ukraine, we just signed it. Man, we forgot when the Speaker of the House said, remember he asked him about the whole thing he signed. And he said, I signed that? Didn't even know whole things that he signed.
Megan Hayes, let me start with you. You work for the Biden administration. So I spoke with Tom Homan. He blamed the need for more agents on sanctuary cities. These are largely Democratic-run cities and Democratic-run states generally. He says that the rulings of sanctuary cities, the rules don't permit a single agent to arrest someone inside a jail, and instead they release undocumented detainees into the community. I want you to listen to what Mr. Homan had to say.
We got to send agents to the neighborhood. We got to send a whole team for officer safety reasons. So we're going to increase agents in these cities. We're also going to increase worksite enforcement in these cities because we can't arrest them in a jail. Then we got to go to the community and the worksite to find these people. So that's what we're going to do.
What's your response?
Look, I think that this is an excuse for them not running out of people to deport and doing it legally and using due process. So I think that Tom Homan is looking for other excuses of where they can't find illegal immigrants and to do this illegally and to do things.
We just saw your boss.
They're deporting criminals, and clearly they are now just going after people who are at work sites and stuff, so it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I think that the administration, this is a win for the Republican Party and the Trump administration, so they are going to do everything they can over and over again to continue this win because Democrats do not have a good response to this. People want people deported that are criminals. It's when you start going after people who are paying taxes here, who are here and have families born here, that there's a real problem, that is when the messaging starts to turn. So I think that they are trying to hold on to the win that they have right now.
The video of the mother being arrested this weekend in Massachusetts and her daughters are trying to stop the ICE agents.
Which one? I've seen so many different videos.
Look, I know immigration is a problem. I'm not for a second saying we don't have to address that. But when you see stuff like that.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. We're emotional people.
I'm like, you say, who were the Nazi guards? Who were the fucking slave catchers tracking down slaves?
Yeah, I wouldn't compare it to that at all.
Man, when you're ripping,
it's got to start somewhere.
You're ripping mothers away from.
I think you do a disservice to what Jews experienced during Nazi
saying
Germany.
That as a Jew,
and I think you're like half. And then I think
half of me says it. Then.
I think that you're doing a disservice to what slaves experienced.
But what Charles says is true. It didn't
definitely.
Yes, the first day in 1938 or whatever, it looked like this.
Yeah.
And then not enough people said stuff, and it escalated and escalated and escalated, and then you got where you're going.
I saw a mom who took her two sons who had been going through the process of getting their papers, and they were going to the regular, I guess, check-ins or whatever that they have to do. Yeah. Snatched the two sons up. Yeah. Listen,
we got to do something, but we have the money to do it a different way. Is what I'm saying.
Yes, it is heartbreaking. There's no question it is heartbreaking. You could make the argument, or they would make the argument, that these people are here illegally. They're breaking the law being here, whereas simply being Jewish in Germany in the late 1930s shouldn't have been illegal. These were German citizens that were being snatched up. And the same thing with slaves. You could make the argument, I guess slavery was illegal at the time. So
it was illegal to leave a plantation if you were a slave.
Yeah, it was illegal, but it was also the slavery itself is this immoral, deplorable institution.
Yeah, but that's insane.
I wish that clip didn't end. I actually wanted to hear him continue to go on this point. I hate that they're trying to compare the people breaking the law and then being subjected to enforcement of the law by them being deported is somehow comparable to Nazi Germany and slavery. I think that is bullshit. I think it's an apples to oranges comparison, and I'm actually getting tired of hearing it. Like, if you don't want to be deported and you don't want people to be deported,
They doing free flights.
Yeah, then leave. That's all they
Free
have to
flight
do
to
is
any
leave.
country. You ain't even got to go to your own country. If you're scared to go there, you go somewhere else.
And you want to know something? I'm also sick of when they say, oh, they're here for a better life. They want a better life. Literally everybody on planet Earth wants a better life. Just because you want a better life and you had to break the law to come here, it doesn't make me feel sympathy for you.
It's just, I do feel the sympathy, but there has to be borders. What do you do? What is a country with no borders? There's no argument for that.
But why nobody have an argument to help their actual nation become a more livable nation?
See,
stop
that
the
is
crime
that is a great point. Then I think that's what El Salvador figured
did,
out.
and they call him a totalitarian. I'm saying it wrong. A
Totalitarian.
dictator.
But I bet the people there ain't saying that. It's just the American media.
Yeah,
it's shit crazy, bro.
He will back off because he listens to what they. If Trump feels like his constituents are pissed about this, he will back off because he listens to what they care about. If he goes, my people don't really care, he won't. But if his people are pissed, he will back off. And I think that's an important thing to understand about Trump. It's
the tariffs he kind of held fast, and everybody left, right, center were all saying this is a bad idea. Stop this.
I
And was it a
actually
bad
don't
idea?
think.
No, he didn't hold fast.
No. I don't think left, right, center. So I think that a lot of like rich media figures were saying it because they were basically like looking at their portfolios and seeing that the stocks were dipping. And I think that like the working class Americans that were supporting Trump were like, I don't have money invested in the market. I don't give a fuck if those rich people lose money. What I want is manufacturing to come back over here. And he says manufacturing's going to come back here if we do this tariffs. And I don't think it lasted long enough for the shelves to be empty. If the shelves got empty, then you might see his people being pissed off. But the shelves didn't get empty. Inflation has gone down. And it looks like these other countries are starting to negotiate, and then
That's not what Trump cared for in that moment. What he cared about in that moment, the stock market crashing is what would make him move.
But I actually don't think he was that worried about that.
Oh, I do. I think because those are people he cares about.
People made money when the stock market went down.
I don't think he cares about them that much. I think that's the biggest illusion. I don't think he cares about them.
Well,
I think he.
Here's the thing: you might be right because he damn sure don't care about the common man either, the working man. You know who Trump cares about? The Trumps.
Okay,
that's who he cares about.
I'm not even sure he cares about them, to be honest. He cares about Trump.
I think in order for him to maintain power, he needs support. And as long as his supporters support him and there's enough of him for him to continue his agenda, he will continue to go down the path that maintains that support. Once he feels,
why does he still need people to support him?
Well, because you got to win the midterms so you can continue to control Congress, and you want to, in my estimation, if you want to exact this change in America, you want that legacy to continue after you.
Yeah, man, I think the people rocking with Trump, I don't see why they say that. A lot of things that affect the common people have been doing well, like the border is closed, the egg prices, the gas prices. I don't know, like,
Flight prices went down.
Flight prices went down.
The market's doing a lot better.
Stock market is doing good now. The things that people care about, the things that, according to the polls, the people wanted, and the things that he ran on are being done. Inflation, the government, the Doge. Look what Doge is doing. They stop complaining about Doge.
One thing I could always say, and it's probably the dumbest thing you could probably say, I see Joe Biden send money off. I see Trump getting money sent in. So
Come on.
That's all I had.
We forgot one thing he did. He reset the whole world trade market in a couple months. So I think that was pretty good. So, I mean, I don't know, man. I just don't agree at all that he only cares about himself because he was already rich. He didn't have to be the president. He chose to do that.
Facts. That's very much facts.
I do think that there is one version where I'm sure a lot of people look at, oh, he just cares about him, and after 4 years, he's fucking done. I think there's another version where he's like, I do think that America is in disadvantageous trade relationships with other countries where we're being taken advantage of. I do think that there are too many foreign wars that we're supporting, and I think that we can have a better country and better standing in the world if we change those up. And I personally think he is trying to do that, especially with the foreign wars. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah, but Andrew is pretty smart, bro.
I
he knows
agree.
his stuff.
When he articulates his opinion, I think he's pretty smart. A lot of people are mad because he made fun of Kendrick Lamar. They were
Man,
mad.
forget Kendrick Lamar, bro. I do not care about him.
Yeah, people were pissed that
You make fun of
people were
someone.
mad at Shannon Sharp for bringing him on after that. They're like, "Oh wow, you're such a loser,
You
Shannon
see,
Sharp."
black people only get offended when they think other black people won't like something.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Who gives a shit, honestly?
No, but the craziest part about that whole exchange was when they brought it up that Trump was like Hitler and Nazis and the slavery and all that, just because he is deporting people. When Obama deported way more people than Trump, and not a peep, not a protest, nothing. We didn't hear anything. They love Obama. If they could vote for Obama for a third term, they would, and then he would turn around and deport more people than Trump.
We don't know now.
Well, I don't know, bro. We just going off the stats, his numbers. When he was in the game, he scored more points.
The facts are there. The facts are there.
And he was for it. So I mean, shoot.
And Obama had come out and said, if you come here illegally, you got to go. He said that. I mean,
Hillary Clinton said it.
I mean, the deportation of illegal immigrants is not like some new policy. It's definitely something that's been pushed to the forefront of issues lately. I just think it's ridiculous. I think we shouldn't be trying to prioritize the safety of illegal immigrants over American citizens. I mean, if they pose a risk to the American citizen and the American taxpayer and the American voter and people that are born here and hail from here, I think that is a much more greater responsibility to protect the people that are from here and native to this land than people who are coming here illegally. And I will die on that hill, honestly.
Yeah. It's basics of running a country.
Yeah, and that's just a fact. Anything that comes into contention with your citizens and can cause a threat to them, it needs to be dealt with. And I believe that's what we're seeing. Like we have billions of taxpayer dollars going to accommodate these people who want better lives when every American wants a better life. So I mean, hey,
you can't let millions of illegals in your country, any country that's never successful.
And I also just don't think like bringing people in your country without vetting them and making them go through the process to make sure they understand the culture and values of your country is big. Like when you bring in a bunch of people.
Remember, Taj brought up an excellent point the other day when he said they wanted everyone to get the vaccine. They wanted to make sure everybody had that vaccine to come around them and to come in their cities, and they checked their card and all that. Well, so you don't want to continue that?
Yeah.
Do the illegals have vaccines? Do we know?
Hell no.
We don't know. But y'all don't care anymore. Man, that was the best point. That was the best argument that I've heard in a while about that.
Yeah, that's facts.
Anyways, y'all, man, we out of here, man.